records.
Yeah? Well, just put me down as Johnny Jones.
Johnny Jones, eh? Certainly a lot of you Joneses in the world. Where'd you all come from, huh? Oh, this'll hurt a bit, all right. Can't help it.
Sorry.
There. How'd you get this, Johnny?
Me? I was hunting.
Hunting, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know there was any elephants around here.
Elephants?
Must have been pretty big game you were hunting. This is a bullet from a .45 automatic pistol.
Yeah? Well, let's quit talking about it and get me out of here.
Oh, I'm hurrying as fast as I can, youngster.
I'm no youngster.
Oh, no? No, I guess you're not. By the way, I need this for my records, too. How old are you?
19.
19? Yeah. Of course, if you were hunting today, you didn't hear about the bank robbery in Cedarton this afternoon.
Yeah?
Yeah, nobody harmed, though. Leastwise, none of the Cedarton folks. Now, this is going to hurt quite a bit. I've got to be sure that wound's sterile. Say, gosh, to Friday, that couldn't have hurt that much.
All right. You've got me. I was with him. I was their lookout. Go ahead. Turn me in.
Turn you in? Oh, you won't have to go to bed. That's just a flesh wound. You got a place to stay tonight?
Stay? Oh, yeah. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I've got a place to stay.
Oh, that's fine. Now, good night.
How much do you?
Oh, we've just called this an emergency. Good night, Johnny.
Good night, though. Thanks.
Hello. Hey, connect me with Bill Benson down to the police, will you? Thanks, yeah. Yeah, right away. Hello, Chief. This is Dr. Adams. Yeah, say, Chief, I think maybe if you get out on Maple Street right now, you pick up a young fella that might know something about that holdup this afternoon. Yeah, he just... Yeah. Hello. Gosh, to Friday. I hope I'm doing right.
Hey, Doc, what'd you want me to come up to court for?
Be quiet, Pete. Judge Windsor's just about to open court.
Well, all right, but I'd like to know what it's all about.
Hear ye. General Session, the Court of Peace of Cedar Township now in order. Judge Samuel Windsor presiding. Quiet.
What's the first case?
Well, the first and only case is the People versus Jones. Johnny Jones, to be exact.
Who's the complainant?
State, Your Honor. Complaint's on the desk there.
Oh. Who's the first witness?
Well, the first and only witness is Dr. Grant Adams.
Dr. Adams, take the stand, please.
Raise your right hand. You swear in the cause now, hearing to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Dr. Adams, you treated a young man for a gunshot wound several nights ago, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Did he admit to you how he was wounded?
Yes, he did. He said he'd been hunting.
Did he say anything about having participated in any holdup or robbery or anything of the sort? Any committing of a felony?
No, sir. He didn't admit anything of the sort.
Is that all the testimony you have to offer?
Yes, I guess that's all.
That's all, Dr. Adams. Thank you. Is there any other witness to appear in this case? Case dismissed for lack of sufficient evidence. Court will recess for noon tomorrow at 10 o'clock. I'd like to see the former prisoner and the witness in my chambers at once. You better come in too, Pete May. That'll be all for now.
Come on, Pete, quick. Come on, quit asking questions.
Come on, Doc. Come in, Pete. Shut the door. Well, Doc, have you got anything more to say?
Oh, well, I've got a little story I'd like to tell. Seems like about 19 or 20 years ago, I was called over to Dunlap County. The young wife was just about to have a baby. Her name was Kemp, Martha Kemp. My father's name was Ben. It was a fine youngster. They named him Johnny. I haven't heard about this little family for about 5 years, but I did hear then that the mother had died and the young father was killed in a landslide when he was working some sort of mine over near Dunlap. Nobody seemed to know anything about the youngster, except he'd gone to the city. Funny how young folks change, isn't it? Well, I guess that's all.
Doc, is that the truth?
That's the truth, Johnny.
How'd you know?
Here's your wallet, Johnny. You dropped it when you fell into my office a few nights ago.
Gee, thanks.
Say, by the way, Pete, you were telling me you were thinking of hiring some bright youngster to work in your store, weren't you?
That's right, Doc.
Well, what do you think of Johnny here?
I think he'd be first rate.
Yeah, I think so, too. Say, Sam, I never did get that receipt from my interest. We had a sort of an interruption the other day. Can you give it to me now?
Sure, Doc. Come along.
Gee, Pete, ain't he swell?
Yeah, Johnny. He's swell.
This is the family doctor. I'll be in to see you again right soon. Goodbye.
Ellery Queen's Minute Mysteries. This is Ellery Queen with a case I call The Mysterious Contact. Inspector Kennedy came to me with what he called a real tough one. A suspected enemy agent was under Kennedy's surveillance 24 hours a day. The enemy agent's routine was the same every day. He picked up his mail from a personal mailbox in the post office. He received no phone calls, yet he was still maintaining outside contact. I asked the inspector if he checked the agent's mail. Yes, he replied. The postal clerk inspected all the mail addressed to that box number. And the answer, I replied, is simple. In a moment, I'll tell you why.
John, you watch the driving. I'll tune the radio.
Okay.
This ever happened to you?
When I was a kid, somebody on the block said, have you heard there's a thing called radio? And you hear things through the air? And I said, I listened to this with incredulity. How could that be? He said, Harold Merchant down the block has a crystal set. Come.
Oh, boy, did you see what I saw?
And there was a Quaker Oats box with coils of wire around it. And it was wired up to a little galena. And this galena was Aladdin's lamp. You rubbed it, or you tickled it with a cat's whisker, and in came the world. And I remember tuning in. I lived in Boston. Tuning in, my God, Schenectady, New York. What a thrill that was.
The OTRNOW Radio Program.
In the case of the mysterious contact, an outside contact would merely need the combination of the agent's mailbox to put information in the front of the box, where the postal clerk wouldn't ordinarily see it. So simple, it fools almost everybody. Listen again to Ellery Queen's Minute Mysteries.
Welcome back to the program. And now let's listen to Abe Burrows. Abe talks about economics.
Hollywood, the makers of the new, fresh, mint-flavored Listerine toothpaste present the Abe Burrows Show. And here is Abe Burrows.
Hello, I'm Burrows, like he said. Well, it's sure been a big week in the USA. The big convention in Philadelphia finally nominated his candidate. And as we predicted several weeks ago on this program, he turned out to be a Republican. Boy, the way that Governor Dewey steamrolled Sasson and Taft, huh? Tell you what happened to Minnesota Harold and Ohio Bob, you'd have thought their names were Jersey Joe. Well, anyway, it's over, and the Republicans now have their candidate and their platform. And then in a few weeks, the Democrats are going to have their convention. Boy, that's going to be a struggle. With one group playing the Missouri Waltz and the other group hollering, "Stop the music." But eventually, just like the Republicans, the Democrats, too, will decide on a candidate and a platform. And then we'll have a hot campaign with everybody attacking and insulting everybody, calling names, mud-type slinging. But one thing I'm sure of, after the election, no matter who wins, everything will be forgotten, including the platform. Well, by the way, this is our last show of the season, you know. After this show, it's whole for vacation. Fishing, swimming, badminton, rowing, riding, parcheesi, golf, baseball, polo, yachting, tennis. All these things are now available to me because of television. Incidentally, I may do some television myself. I think I'd be kind of cute on television. And a lot of bar and grills have said that if I was on television, it'd make a nice, inexpensive substitute for a Mickey. There's another thing on my schedule this summer. Going to make a few personal appearances. Going to get out where people can get their hands on me. Starting out in San Francisco, a little place called the House of Harris. Be there on July 6th. Well, now, since this is our last show, I'd like to take care of a few requests before I get off the air. The most frequent requests will be taken care of by my getting off the air. But there are some others. And here's a number I've been asked to do. This is one of those love songs where a guy offers everything to his girl. His heart, his soul, the sun, the moon, the planets. Nothing is too good for her. What I call a generous type love song. Like this. All of me belongs to you. To you I will devote my dreams, my heart, my soul, my brain, my eye, ear, nose, and throat. All of me will be your slave. At your command, I'll quiver. Caviar and champagne I'll strew at your feet, and mountains of tender chopped liver. If you want the moon, I'll bring it to you. If you want a whale, I'll harpoon it. I'll give you the stars and a castle of gold with an electric garbage disposal unit. I'll cover you with diamonds on that happy good news day. And now on my knees, dear, I'm asking you, can you let me have fun till next Tuesday?
Thank you, Abe. That was wonderful. You know, friends, there are many dentifrices that claim to do one thing superlatively well. But you may ask, which is the one quality most important in a dentifrice? The makers of Listerine toothpaste have answered that question with a different formula. A dentifrice that brings you not just one, but all three of the benefits a modern dentifrice should provide. Because it's a three-way prescription for your teeth. It's a prescription for cleansing, and no dentifrice cleans better than Listerine toothpaste. It's a prescription that's kind to your gums.